The black SUV pulls up to the curb, and I can already hear them screaming my name. Alex! Alex, over here! The driver opens my door, and the sound hits me like a physical force. Hundreds of voices. Camera flashes. The red carpet stretches ahead like a river of light. This is my life now. This is real. I step out into the chaos, and it gets louder. Fans holding signs with my face on them. Photographers shouting for me to look their way. Reporters calling questions I can barely hear over the noise. Alex, how does it feel to be named Influencer of the Year? Alex, what's next for you? Alex, who are you wearing? I smile, wave, start making my way down the carpet. My publicist, Monica, is beside me, guiding me, keeping me on schedule. This is the premiere of a documentary about my rise, from nothing to this, from divorced and broken to whatever this is. I'm halfway down the carpet when I hear commotion behind me. Ma'am, you can't. I just need to talk to him. Security. I turn and my heart stops. It's her, Amanda, my ex-wife. She's pushing through security, her designer dress rumpled, mascara already running down her face. She looks desperate in a way I've never seen her look. Amanda was always composed, always in control, always perfect, not now. Alex, please. She breaks through the security line and runs toward me. The entire carpet goes quiet. Every camera turns to us. She drops to her knees in front of me, right there on the red carpet, tears streaming. Please, she sobs. Please let me talk to you. I made a mistake. The biggest mistake of my life. I stand there, looking down at her. The woman who told me I'd never be a real man. The woman who said I was dragging her down. The woman who left me for someone with more money, more status, more everything I supposedly lacked. The cameras are flashing so fast it's like lightning. Everyone is watching. Waiting. I feel nothing. No anger. No satisfaction. Just a distant sadness for who we both were back then. Amanda, I say quietly, calmly. I'm finally happy without you. She reaches for my hand. I step back. I'm sorry, I say, and I mean it. But this isn't your life anymore. It's mine. I turn and walk away, leaving her kneeling on the red carpet. Monica guides me forward. The cameras keep flashing. The crowd starts murmuring. I don't look back. Before we dive into how I got here, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment with your city or country. I love knowing where you're all watching from. And if you're really feeling this story, hit that hype button. It helps more than you know. All right, let's get into it. Chapter 1. When Your Wife Makes More. I met Amanda in college. She was pre-med, ambitious, brilliant, the kind of person who had color-coded study schedules and 5-year plans written in permanent marker. I was studying business administration, planning on a stable career in management or marketing, maybe working my way up in a good company. We fell in love the way college kids do, fast, hard, convinced we'd figured out something no one else understood. We got married at 25. It was a beautiful wedding, though the beauty was marred slightly by her parents paying for most of it, a point my father-in-law made sure to mention several times during his toast. Well, we wanted Amanda to have the wedding she deserved, even if they couldn't afford it themselves, he said with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Amanda laughed it off. I swallowed my pride. Amanda finished medical school and started her residency at a major hospital. Grueling hours, but prestigious. Important, life-saving work. I got a job as an operations manager at a mid-sized logistics company, of $48,000 a year. Not amazing, but decent. Stable, benefits, room for growth. At first, it didn't matter that she made more. She was a doctor. Of course she made more. It made sense. It was logical. I was proud of her. Told everyone I met that my wife was a doctor. But somewhere along the way, I can't pinpoint exactly when, it started to matter to her. Can you believe Marcus bought Sophia that BMW for her birthday? She said one evening. We were in our apartment, a nice 2-bedroom we'd stretched to afford in a good neighborhood because she insisted we needed to keep up with her medical school friends who were all starting to make real money. That's generous, I said, not looking up from my laptop where I was reviewing a presentation for work. It's what a real husband does, Alex. Provides. Makes his wife feel valued. Shows appreciation. You don't feel valued. I feel like I'm the one providing. I make almost 3 times what you make now. I paid off my student loans, $180,000, Alex. I bought most of our furniture because you said it was too expensive. I'm carrying us financially. The word stung, but I tried to let it go. We were a team, right? Your success is our success. We're building a life together. Are we? Because from where I'm sitting, I'm succeeding alone, while you coast along in a job you could have gotten right out of college. 5 years, Alex. 5 years, and you're basically in the same position. No ambition, no drive, no growth. I'm doing my best. Your best isn't enough. She closed her laptop with more force than necessary, the sound sharp in our quiet living room. Real men provide for their wives. Real men make their wives proud. Real men don't get out-earned by women, at least not by this much. Not when their wife is working 80-hour weeks at the hospital while they're coasting through 9 to 5 in logistics. The last sentence hung in the air like poison gas. I could feel it burning my lungs. That's not fair, I said quietly. You chose medicine. You knew the hours. You knew the sacrifice. I'm supporting you. You're not supporting me. You're here. There's a difference. Support would be matching my ambition. Support would be pushing yourself to grow. Support would be making me feel like I chose a partner, not a dependent. A dependent? I pay half the bills. Half the bills with a third of the income. You know what that means? I'm subsidizing your lifestyle, Alex. I'm paying more because you won't earn more. That became the pattern. Every conversation eventually circled back to money, success, ambition, all the ways I was failing to be enough. The next few years were a slow erosion of my self-worth. Each time we went to dinner with her medical school friends, I felt myself shrinking. The conversations were always the same, variations on a theme of my inadequacy. We'd be at some trendy restaurant, the kind with small portions and big prices, sitting with Drs. Marcus Chen and Sophia Martinez and James Washington and their partners, all successful, all earning 6 figures, all making sure everyone knew it. So Alex still at the same company? Dr. Marcus Chen would ask, swirling his $50 wine, his tone dripping with condescension masked as polite interest. Yeah, still there. Just got promoted to senior manager, actually. Oh, that's nice. Stable. The word stable delivered like an insult, like a synonym for boring or unambitious. Amanda tells us you're very reliable. That's important in a partner. Reliable. Like a Honda Civic, like a microwave. Dependable but uninspiring. Amanda would smile tightly and change the subject quickly, like my job was an embarrassment to be glossed over as efficiently as possible. Like if we moved past it fast enough, maybe no one would remember that her husband was so aggressively mediocre. At home, it was worse. Without the audience to perform for, she dropped the pretense of kindness. Do you know what Dr. Peterson told me today? She'd say, not looking up from her phone where she was scrolling through Instagram, through photos of her friends' vacations and new cars and perfect lives. He said his husband just got offered a position at Microsoft. 6 figures, stock options, full benefits. And I'm sitting there nodding along while secretly dying inside because my husband makes $48,000 managing shipping schedules. $52,000 now. I got that raise last quarter. $52,000. She laughed bitterly, the sound sharp and cruel. I make $140,000, Alex. You make barely a third of what I make. A third. How is that fair? How is it fair that I work 80-hour weeks, save lives, carry the stress of life and death decisions, and I have to come home to someone who manages boxes? I don't manage boxes. You manage their movement from place to place. It's boxes, Alex. It's logistics. It's the kind of job that gets automated by AI. It's nothing. It's not nothing. It's important work. Supply chains matter. Not as much as hearts. Not as much as lungs. Not as much as actual human lives. She finally looked up from her phone, and her eyes were cold. I'm supposed to have a partner who matches my ambition, who pushes me, who makes me proud. Instead, I have you. Instead, I have you. Like I was some disappointing purchase she couldn't return. Like I was a defective product she was stuck with because she'd missed the return window. I'm sorry, I'm not a doctor. I'm not asking you to be a doctor. I'm asking you to be ambitious about something, anything, but you're just content. Content with 48,000. 52. Content with 52,000. Content with middle management. Content with a life that goes nowhere. Content being less than you could be because trying is hard and failing is scary. She stood up, grabbed her wine glass, and walked to the bedroom. Our conversation was over. Dismissed. I sat in the living room alone, feeling smaller and smaller, wondering when I'd become so inadequate. Wondering if I'd always been this disappointing or if marriage had just revealed it. The worst moment, the one that still hurts when I think about it, came at her hospital's annual gala. Black tie event, $500 tickets, all her colleagues and their spouses dressed to impress, champagne flowing like water, everyone networking and peacocking and showing off. I'd rented a tux. Amanda had bought a new dress, $2,000, which she'd charged to our joint credit card without asking. When I'd seen the charge, I'd felt sick. But I didn't say anything. Couldn't say anything. Because pointing out that $2,000 was insane would just prove I wasn't successful enough to afford it. We were standing in a circle with 3 other couples, all doctors and their partners. The women were comparing new jewelry. The men were talking about their recent successes. I was trying to be invisible. The conversation turned to vacations. "We just got back from the Maldives," Dr. Sophia Martinez said, showing photos on her phone. Crystal blue water, overwater bungalows, professional photography. 2 weeks. We stayed at the Soneva Jani. It was absolutely magical, worth every penny of the $15,000. "We're thinking Bora Bora for our anniversary," Dr. James Washington added. "Maybe that new 4 Seasons? Go big or go home, right? You only live once." "What about you two?" Marcus asked, turning to us with that smile that said he already knew the answer. "Any exotic trips planned?" Amanda's smile was tight, forced, painful to watch. "We're thinking about something more modest this year. Right, Alex?" "We talked about Colorado," I offered, trying to sound enthusiastic, trying not to see the pity in their eyes. "Maybe rent a cabin in the mountains, do some hiking, see the fall colors." The silence was brutal. They all looked at me like I'd suggested we vacation at a landfill. "Hiking," Marcus repeated slowly, like he was tasting the word and finding it unpleasant. "How rustic." "Sounds lovely," Sophia said, her voice dripping with that particular tone that means, "I feel sorry for you, and I'm glad I'm not you." "Very grounded," James added. "Back to nature. Simplicity. I think that's wonderful." His wife Rachel looked embarrassed for us. "Well, different people value different things. Not everyone needs luxury to be happy." The implication being, you need luxury because you can afford it. They need simplicity because they can't. Amanda's face was red. She excused herself to the bathroom. I found her 20 minutes later in a hallway, crying angry tears, her expensive makeup running. "What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?" She turned on me, and I saw real rage in her eyes. "You just humiliated me in front of my colleagues, Alex, in front of the people I work with every single day, hiking in Colorado, like we're some broke college kids, like we can't afford a real vacation. I thought you liked Colorado. I liked it when we were students and didn't have money and had no choice. Now I have money. I make good money. But I can't enjoy it because I'm married to someone who thinks a cabin in Colorado is aspirational. Do you know what that makes me look like? Do you know what they're saying about me right now? They're doctors, Amanda. They make more than most people. I'm a doctor. I make the same as them. But I have to explain why I can't go to the Maldives because my husband can't contribute to a real vacation, because my husband makes $52,000 and thinks that's fine, because my husband has no ambition to be better. So this is about money. This is about having a husband who can't provide, who can't give me the life I deserve, who drags me down to his level instead of rising to mine, who makes me embarrassed to be married. The words hit like physical blows. I'm sorry I embarrass you. You should be. She wiped her eyes, smearing her makeup further. You're a half man, Alex. Half the ambition, half the income, half the success, half the partner I need. You'll never be a real man if you can't even keep up with your wife. Half a man. The words echoed in my head for days, weeks, months, years. I tried to shake them off, tried to pretend they didn't matter, but they burrowed into my brain like parasites, eating away at my self-worth. I tried everything to be more. I worked longer hours, staying at the office until 8, 9, 10 p.m. I applied for higher positions, sending out dozens of applications to companies that never responded. I took night classes for an MBA I couldn't afford, going into debt for a degree that might make me worthy of her. But nothing was ever enough, because it wasn't really about the money or the job or the success. It was about her needing someone to look down on, someone to blame for not being as happy as she thought she should be, someone to carry all her disappointments so she didn't have to carry them herself. And I was a convenient target, the perfect victim, always there, always trying, always failing. Chapter 2. The End. The end came on a Tuesday night. We'd been arguing more frequently about everything and nothing. Money, vacations, my job, her job, how much time she spent at the hospital, how much time I spent not becoming someone better. I came home from work to find her sitting at the kitchen table with 2 wine glasses and an empty bottle. We need to talk, she said. Those 4 words. Never anything good follows them. I sat down, waited. I can't do this anymore. Do what? This, Us. This marriage where I'm constantly settling, where I look at my life and feel disappointed, where every conversation with my friends reminds me of what I don't have. What don't you have, Amanda? You have a successful career. I have a husband who can't provide, who can't give me the life I want, who can't even pretend to be ambitious. She poured herself more wine from a second bottle I hadn't noticed. I met someone. The room tilted. What? I met someone, another doctor, he's a surgeon. He makes $500,000 a year. He's ambitious, driven, successful. He's everything you're not. You're having an affair. I'm in love. She said it simply, like it was obvious, like it was my fault for not seeing it coming. And I'm done settling for a half man. There it was again. Half a man. So what now? Now I file for divorce. Now I stop wasting my life on someone who will never be enough. Now I find happiness with someone who deserves me. And I deserve this? You deserve exactly what you settled for, Alex. A mediocre life with a mediocre job and no one to blame but yourself. She stood up, grabbed her purse, and walked to the door. Where are you going? To Michael's. I've been staying there for the past 2 weeks. I just came back to tell you face to face because I'm not a complete monster. Could have fooled me. She paused at the door. Sign the papers when they come. Don't make this difficult. You can have the apartment. I don't want it anymore. It's too small anyway. Then she left. I sat in that kitchen for hours, staring at the wine glasses, at the space where my wife used to be, at the ruins of a marriage I'd tried so hard to save. The papers came a week later, divorce petition, asset division. She didn't want much. Didn't need much since she made all the money anyway. I could keep the apartment, the car, the furniture she'd never liked. Her lawyer called it being generous. I called it her erasing any evidence I'd existed in her life. I signed everything. Wanted it over. Wanted to stop feeling like a failure every time I saw her name. The divorce was finalized in 3 months. Quick, clean, surgical, like everything Amanda did. I sat in my apartment now, and felt the weight of complete freedom mixed with complete emptiness. No more insults, no more comparisons, no more being told I wasn't enough, but also nothing. Just me and silence and a life I didn't know how to live anymore. Chapter 3. The Decision. The apartment felt like a tomb. Every room held memories of her disappointment in me. The kitchen where she'd told me I'd never be a real man. The living room where she'd compared me unfavorably to her friends' husbands. The bedroom where we'd stopped touching each other months before the end, where she'd turn her back to me every night. The space between us on the mattress feeling like an ocean. I couldn't stay there, couldn't breathe there, couldn't heal there. I put it on the market. Got a decent price. The housing market was strong, and we'd bought at the right time even if we'd stretched too far to afford it. Paid off my car loan, my credit cards, my student loans, the MBA debt I'd accumulated trying to be worthy of her. Everything. Every chain that tied me to that life. I walked away with $30,000 and nothing tying me to my old life except memories I wanted to forget. I rented a small studio across town. 1 room, Murphy bed that folded into the wall, kitchenette with a 2-burner stove, bathroom smaller than most people's closets. But it was mine. Clean slate, no ghosts, no voice echoing in my head telling me I wasn't enough. I took 2 weeks off work, told my boss I needed time to process my divorce. He understood. He'd been divorced twice, knew the particular hell of it. Take your time, he said. We'll be here when you're ready. I spent those 2 weeks doing nothing productive. Just existing, sleeping until noon, walking aimlessly through neighborhoods I'd never been to, sitting in coffee shops watching other people live their lives, thinking, processing, grieving not for Amanda, but for the person I'd been, the person who'd believed her when she said he wasn't enough. On day 8, I got a haircut. Not at the supercuts I'd been going to for years to save $15, at a real salon, the kind with exposed brick and expensive products and stylists who looked like they belonged in magazines. The stylist, her name tag said Kara, looked at me with professional assessment. What are we doing today? Something different, something confident, just make me look like someone new, someone better. She studied my face, ran her hands through my too long, too boring hair. You have great bone structure, really strong jaw. We've been hiding it under all this. She gestured vaguely at my head. Let's show it off. She cut for 45 minutes. Short on the sides, textured on top, styled with product that smelled expensive, modern, sharp, intentional. When she spun the chair around to face the mirror, I barely recognized myself. Much better, she said, clearly proud of her work. You have a great face. You should show it off more. Maybe lose the glasses, get contacts. You'd be surprised how much it changes things. No one had told me I had a great face in years. Amanda used to tell me I was handsome back when we were in college before I became disappointing, but that felt like a different lifetime. "Thank you," I said, tipping her $50 on a $70 haircut. I bought new clothes, nothing crazy expensive, I wasn't rich, but clothes that actually fit, that looked intentional instead of functional. A good leather jacket, well-fitted jeans, t-shirts that showed I'd been going to the gym, button-ups that made me look put together. I started going to the gym every day, not to get ripped for revenge or to show Amanda what she was missing, just to feel strong again, to feel like I was taking care of myself instead of slowly deteriorating under the weight of someone else's disappointment. The gym became my meditation, weights, treadmill, push-ups until my arms shook. The physical pain was cleansing, washing away the emotional pain one rep at a time, and I started filming myself. It started as a joke, honestly. I was at the gym on day 12 of my new life, trying to do an exercise I'd seen other people do, some complicated shoulder press thing. I was doing it completely wrong, and the trainer came over to correct me. "Whoa, hold on. You're going to hurt yourself," she said, showing me the right form. "There you go. Much better." We laughed about it. I thought, that would be funny content. Guy trying to figure out fitness after a divorce. Guy rebuilding himself one failed exercise at a time. So I started posting. Downloaded TikTok, an app I'd never used because Amanda said it was for kids and idiots. Created an account, posted my first video. Divorce fitness journey, day 1. Me struggling with weights that were probably too heavy, me on the treadmill looking like I might die, me in the locker room after, red-faced and sweating, saying, "Turns out getting your life together hurts? Who knew?" The first video got 40 views, the second got 60. Nothing viral, just there. But people started commenting. Shelf Fitness Mom 87. Going through a divorce too. This helps seeing someone else struggle. At Gymrat 2024. You're hilarious, man. Keep posting. Recovery mode. The struggle is real. You got this. I kept posting. Added more commentary. Made jokes about being newly single. About learning to cook for one person. About living in a studio apartment where my bed was also my couch, was also my dining table. I posted about the small victories. Learning to meal prep. Running a mile without stopping. Making it through a whole day without thinking about Amanda. People related. People commented. People followed. I hit 1,000 followers, then 5,000, then 10,000. I started posting more than just gym content. Morning routines, how I was decorating my tiny studio, my thoughts on starting over, products that were helping me, books I was reading. I was honest, raw, real, no filter, no pretense. Just me, figuring out how to be okay again. And people loved it. One video went unexpectedly viral. It was simple. Me sitting on the floor of my studio apartment, eating takeout Chinese food straight from the container, talking to my phone propped on a box. My ex-wife used to criticize everything I did, I said between bites of lo mein. How I ate, where I sat, what I wore, how I spent money. For years I believed her, believed I was doing everything wrong, that I was fundamentally deficient. I paused, taking another bite, looking directly at the camera. But you know what? Freedom sometimes looks like eating Chinese food on your floor in your underwear at 11 p.m. It looks like not caring if your chopstick technique is perfect. It looks like laughing at the absurdity of it all. And you know what? That's okay. That's more than okay. That's actually beautiful. I posted it at midnight, went to sleep, woke up to my phone blowing up. 2 million views in 12 hours. Comments flooded in. Single and thriving. I felt this in my soul. Divorce support. Needed to hear this today. Thank you. Freedom Fighter 89. Your ex-wife is an idiot? You're amazing. My follower count exploded. 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. Brands started reaching out. Small ones at first. A meal prep company saw my videos about learning to cook and wanted to sponsor content. $500 for one video. I stared at that email for an hour. $500 for 60 seconds of me talking about food containers. That was more than I made in a week at my old job after taxes. I said yes, made the video, the company loved it, wanted more. Then other brands reached out. Fitness supplements, workout gear, men's grooming products, self-help apps, mental health platforms, each one paying more than the last. Within 3 months, I was making more from content creation than my day job. I sat in my studio apartment one evening, looking at my bank account, doing math. I had to double-check because it didn't seem real. I'd made $8,000 that month, from posting videos on my phone, from being honest about my life. $8,000, more than I'd ever made in a month at the logistics company. I stared at the numbers until they blurred. Then I called my boss. "Hey, Alex, how you holding up?" "Good. Really good, actually. That's why I'm calling. I need to quit." Silence. "Quit?" "I'm going full-time content creator. It's working. It's actually working." "Alex, you're walking away from stability, benefits, health insurance, retirement matching, a clear career path. For what? Internet videos. That could disappear tomorrow." "Maybe, but I'd rather bet on myself and fail than coast in safety while dying inside. I've done safe. Safe almost killed me." Another pause. "You're sure about this?" "I've never been more sure about anything." "Okay, I respect that. 2 weeks' notice?" "If that works for you." "It works. And Alex? Good luck. Really. I hope this works out for you." "Thanks. Me too." I hung up and felt something I hadn't felt in years. Excitement for the future. Genuine, unbridled excitement. I was terrified, but I was alive again. Chapter 4. The Rise. The first brand deal felt like winning the lottery. $500 for a 60-second video talking about meal prep containers. I spent 3 hours filming, editing, making sure it was perfect. It got great engagement. The brand was happy. They wanted more videos. Then other brands reached out. Fitness supplements, workout gear, self-help apps, each one paying more than the last. Within 3 months, I was making more from content creation than my day job. I quit the logistics company. My boss tried to talk me out of it. "You're walking away from stability, Alex. Benefits, retirement matching, a clear career path." "I'm walking towards something better," I said. I went full-time content creator. Woke up every day excited instead of dreading the alarm. No more commute, no more fluorescent lights, no more pretending to care about shipping logistics and inventory optimization. I spent my mornings at the gym filming workout content. The regulars got used to seeing me with my phone propped up, recording sets and talking to my camera between exercises. Some of them asked to be in videos. We became friends, built community. Afternoons I spent editing, responding to comments, planning content. Evenings I brainstormed new ideas, researched trends, stayed ahead of the algorithm. I posted every single day without exception. Morning routines, gym progress, cooking tutorials, product reviews, motivational content, day in the life videos, behind the scenes looks at content creation. I showed everything, the successes and the struggles, the wins and the setbacks. I shared my transformation in real time. Physical, you could see me get stronger, fitter, more confident with each passing week. Mental, I talked openly about therapy, about processing divorce, about rebuilding self-worth. Emotional, I cried on camera when I had bad days, celebrated on camera when I had good ones. The authenticity resonated. People could see I wasn't faking it, wasn't putting on a persona, wasn't trying to be someone I wasn't. I was genuinely figuring out my life in public, stumbling and recovering, falling and getting back up. My follower count hit 500,000. I celebrated with a special video thanking everyone, read comments, shared messages people had sent me about how my content helped them, then 1 million followers. I couldn't believe it. 1 million people cared enough about my journey to follow along, then 2 million. The growth was exponential now. Every video reaching hundreds of thousands of people, every post sparking conversations, every story getting shared. Interview requests started flooding in. Local podcasts wanted to hear my story. How had I built such a following so fast? What was my secret? What advice did I have for aspiring creators? Authenticity, I told them all. People can smell bullshit from a mile away. I'm not trying to sell a perfect life. I'm showing a real one. The messy, complicated, beautiful, painful reality of rebuilding from nothing. Regional news stations wanted to feature me as a local success story, then bigger outlets, national podcasts, online publications with millions of readers. I said yes to everything at first. Every interview, every appearance, every opportunity, building momentum, building brand recognition, building a name for myself. Monica helped me get more strategic. You need to be selective, she said after I'd done 3 podcast interviews in one day and was exhausted. Quality over quantity. Say yes to things that align with your message. No to things that are just noise. She booked me on major podcasts. Joe Rogan reached out. 3-hour conversation about divorce, recovery, masculinity, success. 50 million downloads. Tim Ferriss wanted me on his show. 2 hours talking about habits, routines, the psychology of rebuilding. 20 million downloads. Each appearance brought a surge of new followers, new opportunities, new recognition. What's your message to people going through similar situations? Hosts kept asking me, variations on the same question, and I kept giving the same answer, refined each time. You're not stuck. Other people's opinions of you don't have to become your reality. You can rebuild from nothing. Sometimes the worst thing that happens to you is actually the best thing. It reveals who you really are underneath all the expectations and judgments. Clips from these interviews went viral. 3 million views, 5 million, 10 million. My face was everywhere. People recognized me at airports, in restaurants, on the street. Are you Alex? The divorce guy? Became a regular question. That's me. Man, your story changed my life. I was going through a divorce, thought my life was over. You showed me it was just beginning. Thank you. These moments never got old. Each one reminded me why I was doing this. Not for fame, not for money, for impact, for helping people see what I hadn't been able to see when I was at my lowest. That there's a way through. Business opportunities exploded. Sponsorships paying $20,000 per video, $30,000 for a campaign, $50,000 for a long-term partnership. Companies wanted me as a brand ambassador. Fitness brands, nutrition companies, mental health platforms, self-improvement apps. Everyone wanted to be associated with my story of transformation. I became selective. Only partnered with brands I actually used and believed in. Turned down offers from companies that didn't align with my values, even when the money was substantial. You have integrity, Monica said. That's rare. Most creators sell out the moment the checks get big enough. You're playing the long game, building something sustainable. Live events became a regular part of my calendar. Fitness expos wanted me to speak to thousands of attendees. Men's mental health conferences wanted me as a keynote. Divorce recovery workshops wanted me to share my story and answer questions. I stood on stages in front of hundreds, sometimes thousands of people, telling my story. The humiliation, the divorce, the decision to rebuild, the rise. And every time, I saw people crying, nodding, taking notes, recording clips to watch later. After events, lines formed for meet and greets. People waited hours to shake my hand, take a photo, tell me their story. My wife left me for my best friend, a man told me in Austin. Said I wasn't successful enough. Your content helped me realize my worth isn't tied to her opinion. I'm rebuilding now. Thank you. My husband made me feel worthless for years, a woman told me in Chicago. Your videos gave me permission to leave. I'm free now. I'm happy now. These conversations filled me with purpose. This was why I'd shared my pain so publicly, why I'd been vulnerable, why I'd let millions of people see me at my lowest, because my pain had become their pathway to healing. I launched merchandise, kept it simple and meaningful. Hoodies with "I'm finally happy without you" printed on the back, t-shirts that said "From half to whole," hats with "Rebuilding" embroidered on the front. Sold out in 3 days, had to reorder. Sold out again. The demand was overwhelming. The money was surreal now. $50,000 a month, $75,000, $100,000, numbers that didn't feel real, that made me check my bank account repeatedly to make sure I wasn't hallucinating. I reinvested smartly, better equipment, professional cameras, lighting, audio setup, a real studio space in a nice part of town instead of filming in my cramped apartment. I hired an editor so I could focus on content creation rather than spending hours in editing software. A social media manager to handle comments and DMs I couldn't keep up with. An assistant to help with scheduling and logistics. Started a YouTube channel for long-form content. Deep dives into my story. Philosophy on life after trauma. Interviews with therapists, relationship experts, other people who'd rebuilt from nothing. Real, substantive content that couldn't fit in 60-second videos. The production value increased, but the core message remained the same. Authenticity, vulnerability, growth. The first long-form video I posted was titled, "How My Ex-Wife Calling Me Half a Man Made Me Whole," 32 minutes long. I sat in my studio and told the entire story from beginning to end. The marriage, the criticism, the breaking point, the divorce, the decision to rebuild, the work, the growth, the realization that her words revealed her insecurity, not my inadequacy. I posted it terrified no one would watch something that long. Terrified my audience only wanted quick hits, not deep dives. It got 1 million views in 24 hours, 5 million in a week, 10 million in 2 weeks, 20 million within a month. Comments flooded in. Worth it 22.24. Watched this 3 times. Needed to hear it that many times to believe it. Rebuilding Dad. Sending this to every man going through a divorce. This should be required viewing. Oh, finally free. Your ex-wife was an idiot. You're amazing, and she couldn't see it. National news outlets picked it up. Morning shows wanted me on to discuss it. I flew to New York, stayed in a nice hotel, woke up early for hair and makeup, sat on a couch on Good Morning America while millions of people ate breakfast and watched me talk about my divorce. What would you say to your ex-wife now if she were watching? The host asked, leaning forward with practiced interest. I thought about it. Really thought about it. Not for the cameras, but for myself. I'd say thank you. She freed me from trying to be someone I'm not. She pushed me to find out who I actually am, and I like this person way better than the person I was trying to be for her. I'm grateful for the pain because it led me here, to this life, to this version of myself. The host smiled. That's beautiful, and very mature. It's not maturity, it's survival. Holding on to anger would have destroyed me. Letting it go saved me. The clip went nuclear. 20 million views across all platforms. Everyone was talking about it, sharing it, using it as motivation for their own journeys. My follower count hit 5 million, then 8 million, then 10 million across all platforms combined. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. Publishers started calling, book deals. They wanted my story in hardcover, wanted me to expand on the videos, wanted me to write something people could hold, could gift, could keep on their nightstands. Offers came in, $100,000 advance, $200,000, $300,000. I signed with a major publisher for $250,000 and creative control. The number made me dizzy, made me call my accountant to make sure it was real. I wrote the book in 3 intense months, locked myself in my studio and poured everything onto the page. Every painful memory, every moment of shame, every step of recovery, every lesson learned, every piece of wisdom I'd gained from being broken and rebuilt. Half a Man, How I Rebuilt Myself from Nothing. It came out 6 months later with a full marketing push, billboard advertisements, subway posters, social media campaign, book tour planned for 20 cities. It hit the New York Times bestseller list the week it launched. Number 3. Then number 2 the following week, then number 1. I stood in a bookstore and saw my face on the shelf. Saw people picking it up, reading the back cover, adding it to their cart. Saw a man crying while reading it in the cafe section. I approached him. You okay? He looked up, startled, recognized me. Holy shit, you wrote this. I did. My wife left me last month, said I wasn't man enough for her, said I'd never amount to anything. He held up the book. This is giving me hope. Thank you. We talked for 20 minutes. I signed his book, took a photo with him, told him it gets better, that he'll get through this, that he's enough exactly as he is. These moments made everything worth it. Every dollar earned, every hour worked, every moment of vulnerability. Because my pain was helping others heal theirs. I bought a house, a real house. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, big windows that filled rooms with natural light, a yard with mature trees, a neighborhood where kids played and neighbors waved. Not a mansion. I didn't need a mansion, just a beautiful, peaceful place that felt like home. I furnished it slowly, carefully, every piece chosen intentionally. A comfortable couch for reading, a big dining table for hosting friends, a proper desk for working, guest rooms for when people visited, a home gym so I could keep training. The day I moved in, I stood in my living room and cried. Happy tears, grateful tears, tears for how far I'd come, tears for the person I used to be who never believed he'd make it here. Amanda had called me a half man, said I'd never be enough, said I was dragging her down. But here I was, 10 million followers, a best-selling book, a documentary, a beautiful home, a thriving business, a life beyond anything I'd imagined during those dark days after the divorce. Not because I'd proven her wrong, though I had, but because I'd proven myself right. I was enough. I'd always been enough. I just had to believe it. Chapter 5. Her downfall. I didn't follow Amanda's life after the divorce. Didn't check her social media. I'd blocked her on everything the day the papers were finalized, a clean break for my own sanity. Didn't ask mutual friends about her. Didn't Google her name late at night when I was weak and wondering if she ever thought about me. I'd cut that cord completely, severed it cleanly, and I was better for it. But information has a way of finding you, especially in a world of interconnected social media and mutual acquaintances who can't resist sharing gossip. 6 months after the divorce, a former colleague from the logistics company reached out. Mike. We'd been friendly, grabbed lunch occasionally, bonded over being married to ambitious women. Mike. Dude, I saw your ex at the grocery store yesterday. She looks rough. Asked about you. I stared at the message for a long moment before responding. Me. What did you say? Mike. Told her you were doing great. Seemed like the truth. She didn't seem happy about it. Got this weird look on her face. Asked what you were doing now. I told her about the content creation stuff. She went quiet after that. Me. Huh. Mike? Just thought you should know. She's not with that surgeon anymore either. Saw she changed her relationship status back to single a few weeks ago. I didn't respond. Locked my phone. Went back to editing a video. I felt nothing. No satisfaction. No vindication. Just a distant acknowledgement that her life had continued without me, just as mine had continued without her. Then another message, 3 months later. Sarah, one of the medical school friends who'd always been nicer to me than the others. Sarah. Hey, Alex. Ran into Amanda at a coffee shop. We chatted for a bit. She's not with that surgeon anymore. Apparently he was married the whole time. Like, actually married with kids. She found out when his actual wife showed up at her apartment with photos and receipts. I read the message twice, felt bad for her. Not enough to reach out, but bad. Being cheated on, being lied to. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, not even her. Me. That's rough. I hope she's okay. Sarah. She's struggling. Lost some of that confidence she always had, you know? Asked about you. I showed her your Instagram. She sat there scrolling through your posts for like 10 minutes without saying anything. I didn't know what to say to that. Didn't know how to process it. Me. Thanks for letting me know. Sarah. For what it's worth, I think she realizes she made a mistake. Like a really big mistake. Me. We all make mistakes. Sarah. Not all of us throw away good people because of our own insecurities. The message sat in my phone for days. I thought about responding, about asking what else Amanda had said, about whether she seemed genuinely remorseful or just sad that her backup plan fell through, but I didn't, because it didn't matter. That chapter was closed. Whether she regretted it or not didn't change anything. Then my content started blowing up bigger. My face was everywhere. Magazines, podcasts, news articles, billboard advertisements for fitness brands I was sponsored by. The man who rebuilt his life after divorce became a headline I saw repeatedly. People started recognizing me in public, at coffee shops, at the gym, at restaurants, asking for photos, telling me my story inspired them, sharing their own stories of recovery and rebuilding. My wife left me last year, a man said to me at a Target. Said I wasn't ambitious enough. Your videos helped me realize it wasn't about me, it was about her need to feel superior. Thank you. My husband made me feel worthless for years, a woman told me at a bookstore. Your book gave me the courage to leave. I'm finally happy now. These moments became regular, weekly, daily sometimes, and apparently Amanda was seeing all of it. I heard through the grapevine, always through the grapevine, never directly, that she'd been Googling me, that she'd watched my videos, even the ones where I talked about our marriage, about her criticisms, about the moment she called me a half-man, that she'd bought my book, read it cover to cover, highlighted passages, left it on her coffee table where friends could see it, that she'd been talking about me, to anyone who would listen, saying she'd made a mistake, saying she didn't realize what she had, saying she was proud of me now, as if her pride mattered, as if it meant anything after everything. The tipping point came when I was featured on the cover of Men's Health, From Broken to Unbreakable, Alex Morrison's Journey. The shoot was surreal. Professional makeup artist, lighting crew, wardrobe stylist bringing options I'd never wear in real life. They had me shirtless for most of it. I'd gotten in really good shape by then, better than I'd been in my 20s, looking confident and strong and like someone who had his life together. The photographer kept saying, "Perfect, that's it. You're a natural. Give me confidence. Give me strength. Beautiful." The magazine hit stands 3 weeks later. My face on every grocery store checkout line in America. My story inside. 8 pages of photos and interview questions and the narrative of my rise. Amanda saw it. I know because she texted me. First direct contact in over a year. Amanda. Saw your cover. Congratulations. You look amazing. I stared at the message for 5 minutes. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. Part of me wanted to respond, wanted to engage, wanted to know what she was really thinking. I didn't respond, locked my phone, went about my day. Amanda, can we talk? I know I don't deserve a response, but I just want to catch up. See how you're doing. Still didn't respond. Amanda, I know I don't deserve to ask for anything from you, but I just want to say I'm proud of you. Really genuinely proud. You proved everyone wrong, especially me. The message sat there, read but not answered. Hours passed. Then, Amanda, I made the biggest mistake of my life leaving you. I see that now. I was so focused on what I wanted that I couldn't see what I had. You were always enough. I was the one who wasn't. I blocked her number, but she didn't stop. Messages came from different numbers, different emails, different social media accounts. Unknown. It's me. Please talk to me. I just need 5 minutes. Unknown. I was wrong about everything. You were never the problem. I was. Unknown. Please. I'm begging you. Just let me explain. I blocked each one, every new number, every new account, built a wall between her and my new life, but she found other ways. Monica noticed first. There's a woman who keeps appearing at your events. Same one. Always in the background. Security flagged her. Do you know her? My stomach dropped. My ex-wife. Ah. Monica's expression didn't change. Professional as always. Want me to ban her from future events? No, just keep her away from me. I don't want to see her. I don't want to talk to her. Understood. But I knew she was there. At meet and greets, at book signings, at speaking engagements. Always in the back. Always watching. Never approaching because security had instructions. Friends told me they'd seen her posts online. Cryptic things about regret, about losing good people, about realizing too late what matters. Some people don't know what they have until it's gone. She posted on Instagram. Sometimes the person you thought wasn't enough was everything, and you were just too blind to see it. The comments flooded in. People who knew our story. People who'd followed my journey. User 1. Is this about Alex? Girl, you fumbled bad. User 2. He's doing amazing without you. Leave him alone. User 3. The lion, the witch, and the audacity of this beach. She deleted the post within an hour, but screenshots lived forever. Then came the premiere, the documentary about my rise, major event in Los Angeles. Red carpet, press, celebrities, the full Hollywood treatment. Monica warned me a week before. She might show up. She's been persistent. Security is fully briefed. We won't let her near you. It's fine, I said, though my stomach was tight. Let her see how far I've come without her. Let her see what she walked away from. I had no idea what was about to happen. I had no idea she would break. Chapter 6. The Red Carpet. The black SUV pulls up, and I can already hear them screaming my name. Alex! Alex! Over here! The driver opens my door, and the sound hits me like a physical force. Hundreds of voices. Camera flashes. The red carpet stretches ahead like a river of light. I step out, and it gets louder. Signs with my face. Photographers shouting. Reporters calling questions. This is my life now. I'm wearing a custom suit. Black. Perfectly tailored. I look good. I feel good. I'm living a life I never imagined possible. Monica is beside me, guiding me down the carpet. We stop for photos. I wave, smile, answer quick questions. Alex, how does it feel to have your story told on this scale? Surreal, grateful, humbling. What's the message you want people to take from your journey? That you're never stuck, that you can always rebuild, that other people's opinions of you don't have to become your reality. We keep moving. I'm halfway down when I hear it. Ma'am, you can't. I just need to talk to him. Security. I turn. It's Amanda. She's pushing through security, fighting them, her dress, an expensive one. Designer, the kind she always wanted me to buy her. Rumpled and twisted. Her hair is wild. Mascara running. She looks desperate. Alex, please. Security has her trying to pull her back, but she breaks free. She runs toward me in heels, stumbling. The entire red carpet goes quiet. Every camera swivels. Every phone comes up. She drops to her knees in front of me, right there, on the red carpet, in front of everyone. Please, she sobs. Please let me talk to you. I made a mistake. The biggest mistake of my life. I stand there looking down at her. The woman who told me I'd never be a real man. The woman who said I was dragging her down. The woman who left me for someone richer. The cameras flash like lightning. Everyone is frozen, watching, waiting. I feel nothing. No anger, no joy, no vindication, just a distant sadness. Amanda, I say quietly. She looks up, hope flooding her face. I'm finally happy without you. The hope dies. Her face crumbles. She reaches for my hand. Please, I was wrong. About everything. You were always enough. I was just too blind to see it, too stupid, too focused on the wrong things. I know. Then give me another chance. Please. We can start over. I'm different now. I understand. No. The word hangs in the air. Amanda, I'm not the same person you married. I'm not even the same person you divorced. That person needed your approval, needed your validation, needed you to tell him he was enough. I pause, making sure she understands. This person doesn't. I'm finally happy. Really, genuinely happy. And you're not part of that happiness. You can't be. But I love you. You love who I've become. You love the success, the money, the status. You love the idea of being with someone everyone recognizes. But you didn't love me when I was nobody, when I was just Alex, working a regular job, trying his best. That's not true. It is true, and that's okay. We both needed to become different people, but those different people don't belong together. She's sobbing now, makeup completely destroyed, dress twisted, kneeling on the red carpet while hundreds of cameras capture every moment. I feel bad for her, but not bad enough to save her. I'm sorry, I say, and I mean it. But this isn't your life anymore. It's mine. I turn and walk away. Monica guides me forward. Security moves in, helps Amanda to her feet, escorts her away. The crowd parts. The cameras keep flashing. People murmur, tweet, post, share. I keep walking. Into the theater. Into my new life. Away from everything she represented. Chapter 7. After the documentary is amazing. They tell my story better than I could have told it myself. The theater erupts in applause when it ends. People stand, cheer, some are crying. During the Q&A, someone asks, "That moment on the red carpet, was it planned?" No, that was real. That was my ex-wife. How did it feel? I think about it, really think about it. Sad. Not satisfying like I thought it would be. Just sad. For who we both were, for what we both lost, but also freeing, like closing a door that should have been closed a long time ago. After the event, I go home. To my house, my beautiful, peaceful house. I pour a drink, sit on my couch, look around at the life I've built. My phone is exploding. The red carpet moment is everywhere. Trending on Twitter, on every news site. Everyone has an opinion. Some people say I was cruel. Some say she deserved it. Some say it was the most powerful moment they've seen in years. I don't care what anyone thinks. For the first time in my life, I really don't care. Monica calls. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. That was intense. It was necessary. The press wants statements, interviews. Everyone wants to talk about it. Tell them I have nothing else to say. That moment speaks for itself. You sure? This could be huge for your brand. I'm sure. This isn't about my brand. This was about closure. She pauses. Okay, I'll handle it. I hang up. Sit in silence. Feel the weight of the day settling. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. Unknown. This is Amanda's friend Sarah. She wanted me to tell you she's sorry for the scene. She's embarrassed. She won't bother you again. I don't respond. Just block the number. Then I delete my entire message history. All of it. Amanda. The unknown numbers. Everything. Clean slate. I finish my drink. Go to bed in my house that I bought with money I earned by being myself. Sleep better than I've slept in years.